I was a PE teacher by profession, which is why I love playing games. I would love to start, though, by playing a game, if you're able. Which one of these is the most accessible, key question, which of these two is the most accessible racket sport on the planet? The answer is, it's actually neither of them. Here's the truth. The most accessible racket sport on the planet today is actually this sport, this little paddle. Few people in the audience, I see some people shaking their heads, yes. This is the great game of pickleball, and I am a pickleball fanatic. Here's what I've discovered. Through pickleball and a number of other organizations I've been a part of, here's what I've discovered. That over time, the gravitational pull of every organization is towards insiders. People that have already shown up. The pickleball game, people that were already in the club. It didn't even take a year for us to start thinking about ourselves, for us to start turning towards insiders. Can we be honest together? Not only is the gravitational pull of every organization towards insiders, but typically the gravitational pull of every church tends towards insiders over time. Then we stop thinking about those that are not here yet. Oftentimes when I ask the question, here are some of the responses that I get from church people or church staff. They oftentimes will say things like this: well, that's just the way we do things around here. I'll ask like, hey, I noticed this, tell me a bit more. Oh, well, that's just the way we do things around here. Or they'll say this one, we've always done it that way. This has been a challenge, by the way. This issue of being gravitationally pulled towards insiders, this has actually been an issue for the church from the very beginning. I want to take you back to the very beginning of the early church. They had a moment, kind of a come to Jesus moment, where people discovered, oh, we're starting to think about insiders more than those that are outside the church. Take a look at what Luke, the guy who wrote the book of Acts, let me put this into 2025 English for you. Unless you stop by the medical van, you can't join the pickleball club. And then when they had finished talking, James, who by the way had a little bit of clout in this meeting, he was the brother of Jesus. This guy knew what he was talking about. Come on, guys, don't make it difficult. Just because people can only play at a certain level on Tuesdays doesn't mean we create some elite group of people that know the Bible more than the Tuesday people on Thursday nights. It's like, no, we shouldn't make it difficult for the people that are turning to God. So here's a question for you this morning. As a church, how do you see the church making it difficult for those that are turning to God? Here's what I've discovered though. It's really easy for me to point the finger at the church and say, oh, here's how the church is making it difficult for those that are turning to God. Sometimes inadvertently, I'm creating hurdles for people that are turning to God. By the way I communicate, by maybe even the way that I expect people to behave, all sorts of different things that I do that create hurdles for people that are turning to God. How are we creating hurdles? Not the church, but how am I creating hurdles for those that are turning to God? As you think about Missions Month here at Eastlake, I'm convinced of this one big idea. I'm convinced that Mandra needs a church that removes all the hurdles. It begins with us, those of us that call ourselves followers of Jesus. It begins with me asking the question, how am I creating hurdles for people that are turning to God? And then how am I going to begin removing those hurdles? Because Mandra needs a church, which is simply a group of people that love Jesus, on mission together, to love this city, no strings attached. Good news is this: God, through the person of Jesus, removed all the hurdles for us. Yeah. You say, no, Jason, I feel like I need to get to a point where my life is kind of back together a little bit before I can start following Jesus. Jesus would say, no, I removed that hurdle as well. No need to get your life back together, just start following me.